Hey there, and welcome to another episode of Idle Weekly. Today's game is called Clicker Heroes 2. This is the sequel to a really satisfying but also extremely simplistic incremental game. Now let's go into World 4 and then I'll talk a bit. Also let's put up the audio a little. Like that. Perfect. Now Clicker Heroes 2 isn't like the first game was. This is basically an action RPG, but it removes the story and it removes the questing content. And what it keeps is the gameplay mechanics and the progression, but because it is an incremental game, it focuses completely on the progression and makes it more interesting than your average action RPG tends to have. For example, very similar games to Clicker Heroes are Diablo 3 and also Path of Exile. But you have to put them on a linear track, and then you will see how similar they actually are. In Clicker Heroes 2 you also will have multiple, let me show you. You can have multiple different characters. They will have 3 by the time the game comes out of beta. But the second one will come very soon. Well, not very soon. It's probably months away still. You can also, the game will have modding support. You can create your own characters with their own skill trees and all that what you want, or everything you want. I don't even grammar. And the goal of the game is to go to the top right edge of your screen forever. But every world has 100 zones. Each zone has 25 monsters in it. And you also have the automator, which this is how my automator currently works. I have let me show you what I have. This is what my skill tree currently looks like. I'm moving from here, trying to get around somewhere there, where is the upgrade all items automator gem. That way I will be able to put the gem or the automator on 100% idle. Well, another thing I would need is the automate's energize, and then a stone that would work with it. Because right now the automator plays for me outside of me leveling the items. The items I level myself. But the only time I have ever lost a zone, so to speak, was World 1 level 75, so 175. That's the only time, and even that was extremely close. I guess I just didn't crit enough times to be just slightly ahead. But for example, 25 and 50 bosses were almost one-shots. So yeah, these are my current worlds. The way I play is I complete each zone 6 times before moving on to the next one. But this has 8 times because this completed it once and this completed it once. So this has 7 times because I completed this once. This is the bonus XP, completing a world for the first time awards bonus XP by also completing a run of every previous world, so 12,000 XP. 7,500 of it comes from this world, 3,600 from here, and 1,500 from here. And the way I level my items is I level each item to level 100 before moving on to the next. Well, I level starting from the newest one, but I don't stop leveling the old ones before they reach level 100. It's probably a terrible way to level, but it's good enough for me, because I like to get the times 15 bonus. My skill tree focuses on, for example, small clicks. I have expandable small clicks, which gives me small clicks based on the amount of haste I have. Oh, 42 billion% now. Let's see. The way, basically, I'm trying to get. Where is it? I'm taking a long way, because you would get from here faster probably, but this is where I'm going. Gem, upgrading all items, automates upgrading all items, so it will upgrade all items at the same time. But I'm taking a convoluted way. I'm going from here to here, and like that. Because why not? Multiplies the damage done by huge click by 125%, so currently it is 1250%, and now it's 1562.5%. Nice. The main thing that I'm looking forward to, which is already in testing at the time of recording for 0.07 in the Steam beta branch, I'm playing the 0.06 stable version, is the guilding system. Guilding system basically gives you a massive bonus. From what I saw, the first guild will give you about 21.8 billion, or yeah, 21.8 billion% bonus to this. It multiplies this amount. Well, this amount will be, by level 200 this amount will be much higher, but it multiplies that amount, whatever it is at level 200, by 21 billion extra on top of what you already got. And you will lose all skills and passives, but you won't lose this stuff, your automator gems and stones. And when you actually get them again, then you get a duplicate of them. So you can basically get an unlimited amount of, for example, automates clickstorm, if that's what you want. That's the idea, anyway. And while you do lose all your skills, what you don't lose is your level. So instead of restarting from level 1 again after level 200, you instead stay at level 200 and you go level 201, etc. And the next guild will be level 400. Then 600, then 800, etc. My first goal or milestone goal will be to reach the first guild at level 200. My next milestone will probably be level 1000, so 5 guilds. And I think my big goal will be to reach level 10,000. I don't even know how many guilds that is. That is 50 guilds, I think. So it is a very long time away. But so far the game has been fun. It has been interesting. It is very simplistic, just like the first one. But I think that's the point of it. It takes the action RPG genre to its core, its progression core, because even regular, for example, plenty of people call Diablo 3 an incremental game because it has endless progression, and incremental games are usually known for their extremely high progression ceiling. They don't necessarily have to be endless, but they have to have a very high progression ceiling. And Diablo 3 has that in the form of legendary leveling, legendary gems, and Paragon. And this one has that in the form of leveling. Your levels are endless. These levels, I don't think there is, well, technically there will be a code cap of reaching level 2.1 billion, but you won't ever reach that. It's safe to say. Legit anyway. There are interesting different types of modding support that they are planning to put into this game. For example, I read that they want to host the Cloudstone, one of their older online RPGs that was available in the web. They plan to find those assets and host them on their website, so people can use those and make their own worlds make their own worlds or characters for Cricket Heroes 2, and also Cricket Heroes 2 assets to help make mods for higher resolution. Currently there is a weird resolution bug. You can probably, well, on YouTube the compression will make it look even worse. But currently there is a weird bug that some of the text here, the level up buttons, are blurry for me. They look terrible. And this level up text, I mean. And some of the art here, not all of the monsters, but some of the monsters for some reason are blurry. But some of them aren't. So I don't know what that bug might be. But I read that there is some kind of a full screen resolution bug. Whatever that means. So hopefully that gets sorted out. And if it doesn't, well, when someone makes a mod with higher resolution textures for the game using the original vector textures, then I will be using that. The game itself looks gorgeous. I love the art style a lot, and Cid's animations are amazing. They are really good compared to many other games, for sure. Yeah, I need to use Energize sometimes. Sorry, I forgot about that. I've been talking so much that I forgot that Energize. That I'll run out of energy because I one-shot everything. The interesting thing about... oh right, I got slow economy here. The interesting thing about this game is that basically there are two rules other than the economy and monster growth. You can get either high item cost and low monster health, or low item cost and high monster health. So technically if you want faster progression you want high item costs and low monster health, because then monsters are easier to kill. For example, I got 152% here. But for example, this was quite a tough level because, well, compared to these others anyway. Oh, a level 25 boss. I took the wrong item, clickable gold. I don't want that. Main things I focus on are treasure chest, Let's help the automator out a bit. Boom. Done. Main things I focus on are treasure chest gold, boss gold, and gold received. But I also focus a lot on haste, because it helps out the small clicks, which says P clicks, but I have the ability, I can show you. I have these small clicks, and I have this expandable small clicks, which increases the charges based on haste. So I want to focus a lot on haste. But I also want to focus a lot on gold and treasure chest chance, and I also take a lot of crit chance and crit damage. Often. This doesn't give anything anymore. Some of the mods, or maybe even features in the base game that I really want to see are, for example, varying monster amount in zones from 20 to 100. So you would sometimes get zones that have 100 mobs, so they are really slow. But they would technically give you higher rewards because there are more monsters before the monsters scale up further. Another thing I would want to see is varying worlds, because this will definitely come into the base game, because otherwise they wouldn't have the counter here visible for us. Otherwise they would just somewhere say that every world has 100 zones or something like that, instead of explicitly saying 100 zones in this world. So this will be a feature in the base game, and I want to see that. That will be interesting to me. I want to see varying stuff. More randomized stuff. Level up. So now the multiplier is at 63 billion. And unlocks an additional set. I don't want that just yet. What I want for the automator is... where is it? This one. A stone that can activate when your energy is below 10%. I want this to... combining this with automate's energize. But because I'm taking a convoluted way to the other stuff at the moment. Basically this first guild will be just strange. Click 17 times. Which is nice. And this next one will be good. Multiplies the gold costs of buying and leveling equipment by 0.92. I don't even know why I'm taking this convoluted way. I could just go here, take these two, then go... But then again, I don't want to focus... that's the thing, because here are nice items. For example, the next one makes item costs less. There is a finding... well, there is a bigger one here, 3%, but... this enhances the sword. Increases duration. This multiplies your gold received from process. Then another 3%, another boss's bonus. Reload reduces the cooldown of your next skill used by 50%. Then again I don't use reload, so that isn't the best one. Keep losing where that is. Where that stone is. That stone was below here. Oh well, it's somewhere here. It's basically diagonally down here. Somewhere. It's a good stone. It's a good gem even. But yeah, what was I saying? Worlds, varying monsters per zone, varying worlds. Let's take plus 100% damage and let's increase my gold amount for now. These two I want to be varying, but the world or the count, what I hope is that the zone variance in worlds is by 25 levels. For example, you would have 100 zones, 125, 175 or 325, because then it will be easier for them to... It would be easier for them to make sure that your worlds have a boss every 25 zones, instead of the bosses being at the random zone, because they're supposed to be every 25 zones. So that's something I want. Is there anything else I wanted to be added to the game? Not really. Oh, there is one actually. That somehow I don't think this will be in the base game, but maybe, I don't know. But something, an actual reset thing that gives you bonuses, for example to either gold or XP earned, or something like that. Some minor bonuses that are permanent through the game. And something akin to Clicker Heroes, the first Clicker Heroes' Transcendence. But it could be a mod. If anyone can code such a mod, then that would be awesome. For me personally, it would be nice. It would be, for example, you get you reset your entire game, but you get the bonus to your XP earned per world, and you start from the first world again. For example, you get I don't know, you get 50% bonus XP, but you start from the first world again. And this will happen every 1000 world, no, not every 1000 levels, but every time. For example, the first Transcendence would be at level 1000, the next one would be at level 2000. Every time the requirement increases by 1000 levels for it. But the bonus is 50% bonus XP. And you start, you lose everything. You lose all of your skills. You lose all of your auto... Well, I guess you could, if it is possible to code it like that, you could keep your automator stuff. Actually no. You have to lose them because you would start from level 1 again. So you would have to lose them. But I thought that would be an... I know it sounds like a terrible feature. And that's why I want it to be a mod, not the base game feature. Because it would basically be for me. Or people like me. It's a terrible feature, but I want it anyway. So yeah, and that is probably the last thing I really want, other than custom characters. I probably will try out many different characters that people will make for this game. I will probably also use custom textures that people will make for this game, depending on how they are set up. If they are additional worlds, if they replace the current textures completely, so that you always have these base game worlds, but with custom textures, then I probably might not use them. I would want them to have... basically, they want to have 5 different environments by the end of the early access duration. But if we could mod in custom actual worlds instead of replacing these existing ones, then that could potentially make our variety of worlds to endless. We would get 5 that the developers made, and then about 10 additional ones that players made. And players could also use the Cloudstone assets for it, so technically they would use assets that the same developers made. And that would be awesome. Basically anything that adds... there are 2 things that I like in these games. Other than progression, of course, but progression is the point of the game, so obviously I like that. Variety. How many zones there are, how much monster variety there is, how many playstyles there are, and Clicker Heroes 2 has at least 6 or 7 different ways of playing it, or 6 or 7 different playstyles, if you will. Which is awesome for an incremental already. Usually they come with 1 to 3 or 4 at most. Then randomization. That's what I like in every game. I want randomization in everything. For example, in Warframe I asked if they could add a randomize button so that I could press it and it would give me random colors or random weapons and or choose me a random frame from my inventory. And that increases for me that increases the longevity of the game, because I can always try out something that the game chose for me. In every game I want a randomize button that chooses something for me. And in this game I want a random amount of zones per world, a random amount of monsters per zone. That's all really. This has been a really long video, but look forward to more Clicker Heroes 2 in the Idle Weekly segments. Wow. Already a level up. Wow, that was fast. 95 billion%. So let's go and make items even cheaper. This is what my constellation looks like for now. It looks really strange, but what can you do? What can you do? That's how I play. I play terribly, but in a way that makes it more interesting for me. Doesn't matter if it's not... I tend to not play meta builds. I play whatever makes it more interesting for me, not what makes me more powerful. Although they often are related to each other. But anyway, there is one more thing I want to show you. And that is... I will show you the 0.75 boss in this... Why? I clicked it. And I will show you the end boss. If you don't want to see the end boss of the Winter World, or Frozen World as it is called here, then you can tune out now. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you watched it all, thank you very much for watching it all. And I'll see you in the next one.